I remember the smell first. Antiseptic, iron, fear. The hospital lights above me were too bright, turning every face into something ghostly. My body felt cold from the inside out, blood soaking through the bandages pressed against my side. Every breath scraped through me like broken glass. The doctor's voice came from somewhere to my left, tight, urgent. She needs blood now. Same group. We have family donors available. I turned my head just enough to see them. My father stood at the foot of my bed in his pressed gray suit, jaw set, eyes flat as winter stone. Beside him, my stepmother clutched her handbag like it mattered more than my pulse monitor. My brother wouldn't even look at me. Then my father said it. "Don't waste blood on her." 5 words, cold enough to stop my heart before the blood loss could. For a second, the room went still. Even the beeping monitor seemed to hesitate. I should have been shocked. I wasn't. Because betrayal never begins with the knife. It begins with the silence before it. Looking back, that hospital room was only the final act. The confession had started years earlier. My mother died when I was 14. After that, my father remarried fast. Almost clinically, as if grief were an inconvenience to be filed away. At first, I tried to believe we were still a family. I played the obedient daughter. Good grades. Quiet voice. No trouble. But love in that house had conditions. My stepbrother Daniel was the golden son. Everything bent around him. His mistakes were youth. His lies were misunderstandings. My achievements were expected, then ignored. Still, I stayed. Because I trusted blood. That was my first mistake. The cracks started small. Missing money from the trust my mother had left me. Papers my father asked me to sign for tax purposes. Late-night conversations that stopped the moment I entered the room. Then came the night of the accident. Daniel was drunk. I knew it before he even stumbled through the front door. Hands trembling, shirt stained with something, darker than wine. "It was an accident," he whispered. A woman had been hit on the coastal road. He'd left her there. My father moved fast, not like a grieving man, but like a strategist. By morning, the damaged car was in my name. By afternoon, the police had questions. By evening, I understood. They weren't protecting family. They were sacrificing one. Me. I said nothing. Not because I was weak, because I had finally learned what they were. Predators disguised as relatives. So I did what they never expected. I planned. Quietly. Methodically. I copied every document from the home office. Financial transfers. Insurance fraud. Shell accounts opened in Daniel's name but funded by my father's company. I recorded conversations. Saved voicemails. Backed up security footage from the garage that showed Daniel driving the car that night. And then I waited. Patience is the most elegant form of revenge. The night they tried to finish the job came 3 weeks later. I was driving back from meeting an attorney when a black SUV forced my car off the road. Metal screamed. Glass exploded. The world turned upside down. I crawled out of the wreck, barely conscious. The first face I saw was Daniel's. He looked down at me with panic, then fear, then calculation. He left me bleeding in the rain. And somehow that still wasn't what hurt most. No, that came in the hospital. When my father chose out loud what he had already decided long ago, I was disposable. Then the door opened. The room shifted. A man in full dress whites stepped inside, shoulders broad, silver hair sharp under the fluorescent lights. 4 stars glinted on his shoulders. Admiral Marcus Hale, my mother's older brother. The man my father had spent years making sure I never met. I'd found him 2 weeks earlier through an old letter, hidden in my mother's jewelry box. We had spoken only once, a quiet call where he listened more than he talked. Apparently, it had been enough. He stepped toward the bed, took in the scene, then slowly rolled up his sleeve. His voice was calm, controlled, deadly. "She is my blood. Take mine." 7 words. The whole room went silent. Even my father looked stunned. The doctor moved instantly. As they prepared the transfusion, the Admiral turned toward my family. Then came the line that shattered them. "I know what you did." No shouting. No theatrics. Just certainty. Because while I was lying there fighting to stay alive, the files I had prepared had already been delivered. 1 packet to the police, 1 to the district attorney, 1 to the board of my father's company, and 1 to the Admiral himself. Every lie, every forged signature, every offshore transfer, every piece of evidence linking Daniel to the hit and run and the attempt on my life. By morning, detectives were waiting outside Daniel's room. By noon, my father was escorted out of his own office. By evening, every news channel in the city was carrying the story. Corporate fraud, obstruction of justice, attempted murder. Their empire collapsed exactly the way I designed it. Publicly. Slowly. Irreversibly. I still remember the look on my father's face during the final court hearing. Not anger, not remorse, recognition. He finally understood that the daughter he dismissed had been the only person in that family capable of destroying him. And I did. Not with rage, with precision. Daniel took a plea deal. My father got prison time and lost everything. The house, the company, the reputation he worshipped. As for me, I recovered. Body first. Then soul. People like to imagine revenge as fire. It isn't. Fire is chaos. What I did was architecture. Every fracture measured. Every fall engineered. Sometimes, late at night, I still hear those words in the hospital room. Don't waste blood on her. Funny thing is, he was right about one part. They didn't waste blood on me, because the blood that saved me came from the one person who saw my worth. And the blood they refused to give became the reason they lost everything. I survived. They didn't survive what I became.